Welcome dear friends on my YouTube channel. Let's start William Shakespeare quotation. To be or not to be, that is the question. Appear in Hamlet. Hamlet से quotation लिया गया है और Hamlet ने ही बोला है. To be or not to be, that is the question in Act 3 Scene 1. Next, therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit and tedious the limbs and the outward flourish, I will be brief. This quotation taken from Hamlet. यह Hamlet से लिया गया है Act 2 Scene 2. Next, the lady do protect me much me think. ये भी Hamlet से लिया गया है Act 3 Scene 2. This above all to thin on self be true, and it must follow. As the night the day, thou cannot then be false to any man. ये Hamlet से लिया गया Act 1 Scene 3. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking make it so. ठीक है, Hamlet से लिया गया है Act 2 Scene 2. My word fly up, my thought remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go. Taken from Hamlet से लिया गया है Act 3 Scene 3. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. ये भी Hamlet से लिया गया है Act 1 Scene 4. Next quotation. Fair is foul, foul is fair, however through the fog and filthy air. ये Act 1 Scene 1. Macbeth में 3 which लिखा है. Out brief candle, life's but a walking shadow, a poor players. Taken from Macbeth. Macbeth से लिया गया Act 5 Scene 5. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. ये Macbeth से लिया गया Act 1 Scene 5 से. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that thrusts and prates his hour upon the stage. ये Act 5 Scene 5 Macbeth से लिया गया है. What is in a name that which we call a rose by any other word would smell as sweet. What is in a name that which we call a rose by any other word would smell as sweet. Romeo and Juliet से लिया गया है Act 2 Scene 2. Good night, parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow. ये लिया गया है Romeo and Juliet Act 2 Scene 2. My only love sprung from my only hate, too early seen unknown and known too late. Taken from Romeo and Juliet Act 1 Scene 5. Thus with a kiss I die. Taken from Romeo and Juliet Act 5 Scene 3. Next quotation. Love looks not with the eye, but with the mind, and this ford is winged, Cupid painted blind. Taken from The Midsummer Night Dream, Act 1, Scene 1. The course of true love never did run smooth. ये कहाँ से लिया गया? Midsummer Night Dream, Act 1, Scene 1. Next, Lord, what fools these mortal be. ये लिया गया है A Midsummer Night Dream Act 3 Scene 2. All the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players. Taken from As You Like It Act 2 Scene 7. ये कोटेशन आपको हमेशा याद होना चाहिए, बहुत ज़्यादा ही फेमस है. ये जो वर्ल्ड है वो स्टेज है और जितना भी मैन और वीमेन यहाँ पे है वो सारे प्लेयर है. उसे The fool do think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. ये As You Like It से लिया गया है Act 5 Scene 1. If music be the food of love, play on, give me access of it, that surfeiting a appetite may sicken and so die. ये लिया गया है Twelfth Night Act 1 Scene 1. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. taken from Twelfth Night, Act 2, Scene 5. All that glitters is not gold. Often have you heard that told. ये लिया गया है Merchant of Venice, Act 2, Scene 7. Next, the quality of mercy is not strained, it dropped as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. ये लिया गया है The Merchant of Venice, Act 4, Scene 1. I am as you, hath not as you eye, hath not as you hand, organ, dimensions, sense. ये लिया गया है The Merchant of Venice, Act 3, Scene 1. The coward dies many times before their death. The valiant never taste of death but once. Again, coward die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Taken from Julius Caesar, Act 2, Scene 2. Next, beware the Ides of March, taken from Julius Caesar, Act 1, Scene 2. There is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves that we are underlying. Taken from Julius Caesar, Act 1, Scene 2. Next, oh, beware, my lord, of jealousy. It is the green-eye monsters which do mock the meat it feeds on. Taken from Othello, Act 3, Scene 3. Reputation, reputation, reputation. Oh, I have lost my reputation. Taken from Othello, Act 2, Scene 3. The rob that smiles steals something from the thief. He robs himself that spends a bootless grief. ये लिया गया है Othello, Act 1, Scene 3 से. Next, we are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Taken from the Tempest, Act 4, Scene 1. Oh, brave new world that has such people in it. Taken from Tempest, Act 5, Scene 1. ये इस नाम से ओह ब्रेव न्यू वर्ल्ड नाम से एक वर्क भी है. Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we often might win by fearing to attempt. Taken from Measure for Measure, Act 1, Scene 4. Some rise by sin, some by virtue fall. Taken from Measure for Measure, Act 2, Scene 1. Love all, trust a few, do wrong to none. Taken from All's Well That Ends Well, Act 1, Scene 1. No legacy is so rich as honesty. Taken from All's Well That Ends Well, Act 3, Scene 5. How sharper than a serpent tooth it is to have a thinkless child. Taken from King Lear, Act 1, Scene 4. Next, nothing will come of nothing, speak again. Quotation taken from King Lear, Act 1, Scene 1. Next, oh horse, a horse, my kingdom for a horse. ये लिया गया है Richard III, Act 5, Scene 4. Uneasy line the whole that bears a crown. ये लिया गया है Henry IV, Part 2, Act 3, Scene 1. Better 3 hours too soon than a minute too late. ये लिया गया है The Merry Wives of Windsor, Act 2, Scene 2. Next, I cannot tell what the Dickens his name is. From The Merry Wives of Windsor, Act 3, Scene 2. Some kills with arrows, some with traps. Taken from Much Ado About Nothing, Act 3, Scene 1. I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me. He loves me. Taken from Much Ado About Nothing, Act 1, Scene 1. Next, age cannot wither her, nor custom stale her infinite variety। ये लिया गया एंटोनियो एंड क्लियोपेट्रा एक्ट 2 सीन 2। नेक्स्ट, नेचर टीचेस beasts to know their friends, taken from Coriolanus Act 5 Scene 1। Next, if I be waspish, best beware my sting। ये लिया गया है द टेमिंग ऑफ द श्rew Act 2 Scene 1। Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thus art more lovely and more temperate। Taken from Sonnet 18, line 1 and 2। Next is the last. Love is not love which alter when it alteration finds, or blends with remover to remove। Taken from Sonnet 116, line number 2 and 4। Thanks for watching। Thanks for